Hello. As I'm sure was obvious from the footage that I earlier had over my panel announcement, link in the description, unless I forget, which I probably. I am releasing another pre-release of Valley of the Kings, and this is going to be the last pre-release, unless something drastic happens. I think this is the final version of the map, except for maybe a couple kinks, which I'm still working out, but for the most part, final version. I'm just going to put it out here and hope that somebody will look at it and test it. I want to test it with 2 people, with 20 people, just whatever you can appreciate it. And I'm looking for technical feedback and gameplay feedback, so just tell me in the comments if there's anything you want changed, if there's any modifications, because once the final version's out, I'm not going to be doing any big changes like I'm going to do in this video. At least, probably not. Things might still change. So if you want to go in blind, you can stop the video right now, the description, and I'm sure you'll be able to see what I've changed. If you would like to see what exactly I changed, I'm about to go down the list. I might be missing some stuff. Sure, it'll be fine. So, first obvious thing is I had Blue Hush, who is a member of the Broken Buttons, same team who originally built this map back in 2013. I think she actually had a part in this map as well. So she came in and helped me a lot with a lot of different building things, and she made a bunch of little building tweaks. So the first really obvious one is the lobby has been redesigned to some extent. The main structure is the same, obviously, but there's these fancy statues now telling you what stuff is. Particle fields, sort of showing you where the team change things are, since they weren't obvious enough before. Nice. And that's pretty much it for the lobby. Oh, and the towers. The towers weren't properly safeguarded before, so they are now. So you can climb up there and you won't be out of bounds anymore. Hopefully. If you can, let me know. So. Now, the most obvious gameplay change is, of course, that I modified the Egypt spawn point so you can run directly here. I was timing it, and on the Archaeologist spawn point, it was a lot easier to get to the flags. I added the Elytra Tunnel. Now, the idea behind the Elytra Tunnel is that it will speed up gameplay in situations where you have fewer players. Previously, as soon as you died, you have to run all the way back across, but now I added this Elytra Tunnel, so in here, it only lets one person through before the gate closes, and it opens when a new Elytra spawns. Totally subtle relative teleport. I couldn't make it actually even because you would just sink into the ground, because sometimes Minecraft needs hand-holding. So that's sort of the main change. So the idea now is that at the beginning of the game, people will run out, and these are actually the same distance from each spawn point. They'll fight in here usually. The winner gets the Elytra. Just gonna go ahead and take this. And as I'm sure is obvious by now, I also made another change. The sound effects. I added 2 sets of ambient sound effects. This is the wind noise, which you can hear up here. And as you'll hear when we lie down here, it only plays on the upper path. At least it should only play on the upper path. Let me know if you hear it playing anywhere else. I might need to fix that. Brilliant bow use. I also added, as I'm about to demonstrate, Death Potion. So the Elytra respawn has been decreased to 30 seconds, so once the Elytra breaks, about 30 seconds before it'll respawn. Now let's say I'm here, I'm defending my base from those evil attackers who are counterattacking because they just died. And it opens up. Well, I can't get back in there, which is why everyone now has a standard potion. You can respawn and go for it. Of course, if you have to do that it's entirely possible someone on the other side used their shortcut first, and if that happened, then you're just going to be chasing an Elytra spot. I'm gonna run down. Actually, no, I'll fly. So, while we're doing this, I might as well talk about the major bug fix. Previously, the AIs would, for technical reasons, long story short, the area effect clouds that control the AI movement lose all of their scores for some reason, which would stop them from spawning, but I manually re-add the score at the beginning of every round now, so that's taken care of. I'm out of there. Back to game mode 2. Yeah, I'm a cheater. So, that's taken care of, and that's the major bug. There's a bunch of minor bugs, but we don't have time to go into that. I also added a second ambient sound effect down here. It's the cave sounds. So the cave sounds will now play if you are in a cave. They're at random, so shouldn't be spamming you or anything like that. Usually they different. Alright. Also various build tweaks. For instance, the bones visible in the lobby earlier. There was a few changes to the archaeologist base, I believe, around. I'm not sure exactly what they were, but believe so. I decreased the particles greatly in lag particle beams, which should help with any frame rate issues, although I don't really have frame rate issues on this map, so I don't know if it actually does. And last but not least, well, I say last but not least, it's actually second last. Go ahead and end the game early here. The music volume is actually a lot lower now. It was really loud before, so I turned it down some, backed it off, and now it is quieter than it was before. It's still pretty loud, but it's a sort of reasonable volume. So last thing I'm going to cover is actually behind the scenes, so if you only care about gameplay, you're not going to care about this, but I converted all of the redstone to smelt, which means it's going to be a lot easier to update things in the future. Instead of editing these command blocks, I just edit a text file, compile, put it in this block, and then I just update that. But, okay, this is... There we go. So yeah, it's pretty easy. So what this means is it'll be pretty easy to modify this map for future versions of the game. Keep it updated, that sort of thing. I believe that is the last thing I wanted to cover. Let me check my list. Yep, okay, that's it. So go forth, test the map, give me your feedback, and hopefully I can get this thing out within the week, actually. I'm sort of looking to get it out for Minecon, so something to, well, not talk about at the panel. It's not a panel about my maps, but I'll mention it during the introduction or something. Could be cool. Have a little Broken Buttons project out. First one in quite a long time. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm gonna run this real quick, and that's that. Download, playtest, please. Also, if anyone's good at making trailers, get in touch, because our trailer guy, I haven't heard from him in months. Not good with it. Ta-ta.